Hello everybody, we are about to start. Welcome. Hello everybody, thank you for joining this event about your mindful succession plan makes your passing happy or happier. Tell me, why did you sign up for this event? Please write your comments in the chat box. I hope you can hear me. My name is Dominic Calcola Abruzzo. I am a Swiss holistic lawyer, and before saying who I am and what I do as a holistic lawyer, I just want to introduce you the outline for today's speech. The first point will be which are the benefits of a holistic law approach to your succession. And then we have to speak about the passing. How can you make it happier? Are you afraid of dying? Have you thought about that? Let me know. Write your comments. And then don't be too scared. I know that many of you do not have a legal background, but I have to talk about the legal issues, explaining what is a will, what is an inheritance contract, what should you know if you have several citizenships, and if your wealth is spread in several countries. And then at the end, I'm going to conclude, which is a point which is the main issue of the holistic law on the preventive level, to solve your family issues in order to prevent litigations, specific inheritance litigations. Before starting, I just wanted to introduce you who I am, because holistic law is not taught at a university. It is a journey of the lawyer, of the barrister, that aim at the well-being of the client, and I am a unique expert in this field. This is why I just wanted to spend some few words to explain how it came so far. I studied law in Germany, specializing in business law, and I took the bar exam in Ticino 2009, where I originally come from. You may notice my accent is maybe a little bit Italian. I don't know what you think about my English. And since 2011, I started my law firm in Zurich, in Switzerland. And at the beginning, I was pretty much focused on the art law. As you can see from my background, I like art. And with the time, I became more a generalist. Since then, when I started with a specific focus working on my personality, who I am really. And this allowed me to deepen the knowledge of who I am, and following that, I have several educations, such as life and spiritual counselor. And this is why today I'm going to speak how you can make your succession plan and prepare you for the death using the holistic law approach. So now we come to the first point, which are the benefits of the holistic law approach. So as I mentioned, holistic law is not taught at a university, but is really a process where the lawyers has worked in several fields. But not only that, with the word holistic meaning etymologically all around. I provide services for the well-being of my client on the body, soul, mind level. This is a unique approach, is a little bit different from mediation and alternative dispute resolution, because you handle before the problems arrive. So you are not fighting against the will, against the inheritance contracts, but when you are still alive, you know that you want to divide your wealth between the family, and you would like to do it in an appropriate way. The why I'm offering these services, because having been a lawyer for so long, I have heard so many clients and complaining, and I always say a good lawyer is a very good psychologist. Unfortunately, at law school, we do not have any teaching about psychology, but this must say it's very something that I always liked. And this is why I am today speaking about how you can improve your life and with the holistic law approach. So if you come to me, you have to think I am going to listen to your main issues and provide specific solutions, talking also to your family. And with me, you have in one person 60-degree solution, because you do not have to go to several experts to solve problems. Of course, I cannot do everything on my own. This is why I'm happy. I know that some colleagues of mine sign up. If you'd like to work on cases, legal cases, international cases, also involving tax planning, please contact me. But not only those who work in the legal field, also that those who work with families and therapy, because this will be a part of the last part of my speech. So having explained which are the benefits of holistic law, which are the well-being of the client and the family, resolving in a specific way your succession plan, we come to the next point. Sorry, I forgot. Of course, you save time and money. This is important because the lawyers cost. So yes, we now have to talk about preparing a happier passing. So I know that's maybe a difficult issues to think about and to take time what will happen, because we have one appointment in life, and we tend to spend our daytime worrying about something that has not good a preparation for this big appointment. And I respect all religions and spiritual views, even if you think, oh, once it is, I disappear. I also respect that, but I think if you sign up for this event, you would like to know something more about that. Again, feel free to write in the comment box your questions, and I will be happy to answer them at the end. I'm going now to speak about dying. So the legal definition is you are dead when your brain is dead. This is not enough to damage the brain, but you have to imagine you have an accident, you hit the head, and your brain starts dying. Or you have a heart attack and your blood does not provide any sufficient oxygen to the brain. So, as you can see, dying is a process. Is it a process because also coming into life is a process? you were into your parents' body, and then you became one cell, and from then you developed, and it took 9 months. So how you would imagine, for me, it's not possible to think that dying will be just like this. And this is why you should consider which life support in case of your incapability to make decisions. So in case you cannot tell the doctor, I want this treatment or I prefer that treatment, in case, for example, you have an accident, you are in coma, you have to fill a form. In Switzerland is the advanced direction for medical care. I put, by the way, the link in the comment box. Before explaining that, I just want to speak about near-death experiences. Scientists have been researching what happens when you are dying, and you have maybe watched the movie The Flatliners, where students try to experience what happens at this stage. I'm going now to share a private story. When I was 8, my mother was declared dead, and she went through this light tunnel, and this was something that shaped my life from very early on, because she came back from this tunnel, and I was happy that God didn't take her away, and this made me appreciate life from the early age very much. So also I was able to save this inner child, which is necessary in order to live a happy and fulfilled life, even if sometimes all we struggle. But it's very much the approach. So which approach are you going to have? How do you have to your life? I'm going to talk about this because there is a purpose, and how I will explain when you will have to answer the questions about your medical care support. So how do you wake up in the morning? Do you say, oh, well, I'm still alive, I'm happy, my children, the person I love, my friends are still there, okay, I have troubles, but let's have a look at what I can do about it. Or do you have another view at life? Think about this, and if you like, you can always come to me, and we can speak about it if you need support in order to fill this form. I just also want to say that it is worthwhile to spend some time reading this book, the Tibetan book of the dead. I bought this book last year after one friend passed. I decided to give him a holistic treatment of some few days before he passed. And the special things that it was that day, and that my mother called me, and she realized that I was nervous because, of course, I've never touched somebody who was going to die. And she told me, calm down. No one has made this journey the way back. So the interesting thing is, even if she saw this tunnel, she thinks that she didn't go through all the way. So at the very end, you don't know what is going to happen. But it's my opinion, if you have a positive life approach, if you do not hurt people, you will have in this moment beautiful images. This will make your passing much more comfortable. Now I'm going to show you the form which you can download. And just to explain why I spent so much time on the introduction, these are the questions you have to answer. What do you enjoy in life? What makes you anxious or fearful in life? What do you expect, wish, and hope for the future? Why do we have to answer these questions? Because sometimes doctors do not know how to treat you, can you survive or not. So very much your way how you will answer this question is very important. There is a short version and also a longer version of this form. I strongly recommend that you fill the longer version, and sometimes it's difficult to answer the question. So sometimes doctors complain that it's too vague. So you can always come to me so that we can fill this form together, so that you know how to express in words what you feel about life. And before doing that, I would like to suggest an exercise that you can do with small children, because they give also very funny answers in an appropriate way. When you have like 3, 4, 5 years old children, ask them these questions and take a video of them, because you will see what they will answer, and maybe you have something to think about for your own life, and for them is like a present when they will be old and will encounter difficulties in life. Because being happy is a path, it's a duty for us in life. And then there is also the other part where you have to explain what you wish for treatment goals and medical measures. There are 3 cases: the sudden loss, serious illness, and permanent loss of decision-making capacity. So when you are not able to instruct the doctor because you are, for example, in coma, or you can speak, but you are not legally able to instruct the doctor anymore. This is why you have to think in advance while you are still in good health. The treatment goals are 2: treatment goals sustaining life and goals of alleviating pain. So basically, you have to say, would you like to be resuscitated and have an intensive care unit, be treated in an intensive care unit, or not? And of course, I'm not going into depth of that now, but with this question is also related the question of the organ donations. There will be some changes from 2025 on in Switzerland, but I know that we have like an international audience. I think in every country you can find, if you go to a lawyer, the specific solution for your problem. And if you do not know anyone, you are welcome to contact me. I'm glad to suggest to my network of colleagues. And with finishing this point, I just want to recommend that you have a trust person and a health care proxy that who knows what you wished, meaning which treatments would you like to have and which approach you have to life. It can be a family member, a friend, or you can also appoint me. It's you can decide. So we have now spoken about the benefits of the holistic law approach, about preparing a happier passing. And now we come to the legal part. I'm afraid I know that you maybe it's a little bit too abstract if you do not have a legal background. I try not to make it too difficult to understand. But if you would like to prepare for your succession, you should also know how you have to do it and which mistakes you should avoid, because otherwise your family will fight, and they will fight in a way you cannot even imagine. They will fight with the view they had as a child, because you are a parent, you might have made a mistake, but you do not remember, but this wound stays there, and it is something sometimes very simple, like the other siblings got the biggest Christmas present, or my sister got a car for her birthday, or you paid for the education to another child. You might have had your arguments for doing that, which you could not explain to a child. But this pain, because it's like a feel of lack of love, and will stay, and these issues will eventually pop up in an inheritance law fight. And this is why inheritance law litigation is so difficult, because there is also this psychological pain which must be processed. So it's like really up to you, would you like to fight or to heal, and in the healing process, and then we'll explain how is very much the holistic law approach. So if you would like to prepare, you have to think about what is a will, an inheritance contract. Law is sometimes very difficult. Before I'm going to explain that, I have to explain the form, the written form that you have to observe when you decide to write a will. And as I say, writing, because if you are listening to the mindful succession plan, you don't want to die like you are. I am stopped, bleeding, and someone is holding. Hold on. Care is coming, and I say, oh, I want to leave everything to you. No, you don't do that. Why? Because you need, for an oral, at least one, not one testimony, but two, and it must be in case of emergency. But please don't let happen in the worst case scenario, but be prepared. So, speaking about the form, the will, you can do it in written form, or you can go to the notary, and the same is for an inheritance contract. This is just the notary can do it in Switzerland, so you cannot write it in Finland. And now, again, when you write a will, please, you don't write it with the computer. Why? Because it is easy to forge. Everyone can say, because people are greedy, he or she wants this, and forge a signature. So you forget about the computer, the whole way pen, and you write a testament, which includes the place and the date and what you wish, and you have to put the signature. So you do it in the whole way, and it's not easy. I was preparing this sample for you yesterday. I thought, it is really not easy when I think about myself. And the thing you have to avoid, because otherwise everyone is very angry at you, and you start making amendments, which is allowed by law. I just want to say it is allowed. You can do amendments, delete, and then put your signature and your the date when you change the testament. The trouble is when you do a lot at the end, it's for third person quite impossible to establish what you wished was. And I'm afraid nobody can hear you. And this is why I say you do not like this, but again, you write a new one. Okay? We have cleared that. So what is the difference now between the will and the inheritance contract? So the will is like a Christmas present. It's just me giving you my wealth. And it's just one way. It's not necessary that you accept. You can also decide, no, I don't want to take the inheritance. I'm not going into that, but just that you know the difference. Just one way, one person. Whereas with the contract, you can imagine when you buy something, you need two persons. So then we take now a rainbow family. There are two persons, and they want to help each other at the moment they are going to pass. So the one will benefit from the succession of the other, or one child will not receive anything because he has already received enough during life. So this is very much the difference between will and inheritance contract. And what you need, it's really individual. I would suggest you think about it, and you can always contact me for a further counseling. Also because there are some other formalities that if you make mistakes, people will fight about, and your will be declared void, and so you have to know that in Switzerland, but also in other countries, there are some compulsory quotas from also a portion of your wealth that your descendants, your spouse, husband have to receive. So you are, the state says, you have no free will to decide to give everything, your wealth to a charity. So this is not possible if you have a family. And again, if you are interested in the math, you can always contact me. I will do it for you. Now we come to the other point, which is, do you have several citizenship? So for example, I am Swiss and Italian. And for me, if I'm dying now here in Switzerland, in Zurich, so my succession will be open in Zurich according to Swiss law. But you must know, if you have several citizenship, you can choose which country, which law should be applied to your succession. And this is very important to know because it's also a cost factor. If you have several citizenship, for example, I take now the exceptions because there are also an agreement between Italy and Switzerland. If you live in Rome and you come to work in Switzerland, you have family and you buy a house and everything, and you die without a testament, without a will, your succession will be treated in Rome according to Italian law. Does it make sense? No, because you have to translate all the documents. Maybe you have been living for a long time here, and it's difficult to have a judge who is not trusted with the Swiss life. So I would recommend, think about it. Think also about it if you have your wealth spread in several countries. I work specifically in Switzerland, Germany, Italy, and Malta with a net of colleagues. So this was, I'm finished about the legal part, but it's very important because dying is a process. It's not just about thinking about the meaning of your life and the relationships to your family, but also there is a legal point of view. Now, If you would like really, and this is for the person who are really developed and would like to fix your family problems in order to avoid litigations, and no family is, there is no happy family. We have also our troubles, and maybe you do not think so much of it because you are happy that you are not in contact with some people of your family, or you do not have a very loving and caring relationship, but this will be a painful process if people starting fighting, because I don't know which is your belief, but imagining a movie, Hollywood movie, where you see like people fighting and the ghost is there and try to get in touch with the ghost, with the persons, and you would not imagine what people will say about you and your past, and you are not there to tell your version anymore. Maybe I can hear you, I don't know, but please take care of this situation in advance while you are still alive. And I'm conscious that not every family issues can be tackled. There are a lot of therapies on the market. Maybe you have heard of the family constellations. I, as a Swiss holistic lawyer, I would also international approach. I also help my colleagues to solve this kind of problems with a healing approach, meaning healing the roots. And I'm conscious that some specific problems they repeat themselves over generations. Just to think on the big pictures, which is the main problem of your family, and think about the generation and the further generation. Do they suffer from the same problems? So this is very much the therapeutic approach, which I integrate in the holistic counseling. And of course, I work with a specialist in the field, because if there are many family members, I cannot do everything on my own. And at least, but not last, I will explain to you what is a will executor. So a will executor makes sure that your will be respected when you are passed. So it's like your representative in the physical world when you have been transformed to light. So it's important that you have a good, your will executor, because the will executor will manage your wealth. Not only that, it will pay the debts, it will prepare a division plan, and it will also divide the inheritance. I mean, with the holistic law approach, you can solve many aspects, but you at the end, people are different, and you have to think also at the worst case scenario. So you can also appoint me as your will executor. I will help you to maintain peace and to guarantee a peaceful rest to you. So now I'm coming to sum up what we have seen today, the holistic law approach. So it's putting the well-being of the client in the center of the counseling, providing not only legal services, but also a life and spiritual coaching. Secondly, preparing mindful passing, an happier passing, by thinking about the life sustaining measures you would like or you do not like to accept. About organ donations, you have to think and to choose a proxy who will know how you want to be treated. Third, we have learned that writing a will with pen, not with a computer, or you can choose an inheritance contract. And you have also to think about international constellations when you have several citizenships and your wealth is spread in several countries. And last not least, you have to think about healing what is still can be healed. Love heals what wants to be healed. And in this sense, I would like to thank you for joining me. Thank you for my contacts for signing up for this event. And you are welcome to contact me for any question. My website is holistic-law.com. Thank you. Bye.